Look at the beautiful sunrise. When did I do that? What was that? Sunday? Maybe? This is Tuesday morning, and actually, instead of being at 6:30, it's at 7 o'clock. See the neighbor's lights on good from here. Even that light way up there on the hill. 1 o'clock this morning. Sure enough. Wind and rain hit, but only hit for about 15-20 minutes and quit. It's like, cool. Maybe it's out of its system. No, it's not out of its system. Came back about 3:30. Then it chilled out a little bit. And I'm trying to show you how this tree's move, but I didn't move high enough. There we go. Yeah. Last thing I heard on the news last night, they said it's supposed to be like this all freaking day. Not exactly what I needed to lay down on the ground in front of the shop and finish the spreader. And still got the combine to bring in. But I've got to take a tarp off it first, and I really don't feel like taking a tarp off top of a combine in this kind of weather. Might end up floating away. Oh, yeah. The wind doesn't blow as bad where I was as it does down here. It's more of a wind tunnel down here, so I'm going to let you go, because otherwise I might not have my phone in my hand when I'm done. Our dog's out there getting soaked. They go in and out of the shop. Can you tell? She's in. I just got her in here so she don't get too wet, because she always insists on going in at lunch. That's a, what was it, $11.49 piece of 6 foot long, half 13 rod. One thing I hate, it's a long ways to run the nuts up, but a whole lot easier to run them on when you got non-buggered up threads. I'll take the cut off, and it'll get cut off about where my fingernail is. Take the grinder to the end of it, kind of make a point, bring her up so it's about flushed with, bring the nut up so it's about flush at the end, and throw a bead in there. Hold her forever, I hope. And then I'm just gonna, the other half right there, I'll take the grinder to it and weld this nut to it and run this nut down to where I need to cut it off. And I'll cut it off and then run that nut off so I can get the threads cleaned up good. Do a little grinding on it too. There was something else I was going to show you. Oh, that's what I was going to show you. Okay, Scott, I told you. All right, Scott from Scott's Small Farming and Things. He commented about the mighty Thor hammer. When I was just a wee teenage boy, that hammer was in my service truck. Yes, I had a service truck when I was 16. My own truck, all my own tools in it. It used to be about 2 inches longer. I broke it once. Really pissed me off. Because that is one of the handiest hammers. So I just shortened the handle, reground the end of it so it'd fit, and reset it. I got a different one for in a service truck. A little longer handle, plastic handle. So this one, since that day, when I got the other hammer, it did sit in Dad's toolbox for a little while, but we were always using it. He never had a chance to set it down in the toolbox. So I said, fine, there's not room in the toolbox. That's where it stays. So that's the story behind that little bugger. And I told Scott that I had a bigger hammer. So much bigger. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? The handle's bigger than the hammer. Dad had this. I don't know where he got it for sure. Yeah. I can't tell what it says on it. Almost see it better in the camera. So, just a cute little bugger. And believe it or not, yes, every now and then it does get used. Although, there's some comparison. The broken handle one that gets used the most, and I was going to change that handle, but I got to get a handle, and every time I ask for a hammer, number one hands it to me. Let's see what else we can throw for a comparison down here. I know. About a paint can. There you go. So, there you go, Scott. And believe it or not, it is a very, very handy hammer when you need it. And it stays right in that drawer. I think I stole that from Dad when I was, I don't know, 18, 19 years old. I told him, it's too cute, it's too cute, you can't use it. So, anyway, I'm going to get to cutting on this and get these made. I don't know that I'm going to put them on today. And obviously we need to clean the pigsty up. We got cables to go on the Versatile sitting here yet. Lots of cab parts sitting here. If I move a few bales in the barn, I was thinking about it the other day, make a little easier access to get into work on that tractor, and we might do some of that. But if we can get this pigsty cleaned up, and probably in the process of cleaning up the pigsty, those pins are never going to come out, so I'm just going to cut them off. Not like I don't have clevises and pins. There's clevises on those cans. I just need the pins. Those clevises are made for an automatic slack adjuster, and tab's probably going to be in the way, so I'll just cut them off. Nothing wrong with them. They'll work. So, anyway, I'll let you go for now. Through the magic of video, and literally barely 5 minutes later, there's 2 replacement parts. Used less than half of a $11.50 stick. So, gee, what have I got? $5.50 in materials and 5 minutes worth of labor. Definitely well worth $65 a piece, aren't they? and keep in mind, I'm slower than they are, because when they make those bolts, those things come off the line so quick it ain't funny. It takes like 3 seconds to make each one, and that's forming the head, forming the shank, and putting the threads on them. But, you know, keep it charity a little bit. Now, doesn't look straight there. I don't know what happened when I drilled that one out. All I can figure is there must have been a hard spot in it, because the drill walked on one of them and I couldn't get it to straighten up. So I'm guessing it was that one. I don't know. Must have been. This one's not perfectly perpendicular with the shaft, but it's where the hole is. And this other one, let's see if it's cool enough to grab. Hey, I can grab it. This actually sets it like that. That ain't gonna work. There was 3/4 inch difference out here where my hand is from one side to the other, and that doesn't get you lined up with holes. Now they are even, or even enough. I don't want to put it in there yet, it's still pretty hot. So when we go to put it together, my plan is we can move that shaft to line the holes up. Once they're lined up the little bit that it's off, the bolts are long enough, they're going to flex. It ain't going to be an issue. And it's not raining at the moment, so I'm thinking about going out there and drilling the other holes out that I have to drill out so we can put this in. Doesn't mean we're going to get the chain in today, but we'll get that far. There it is. I got out here between showers and they drilled that hole out so that'll fit. It went in all right. This end of both those slots, that one and that one, are a little snug. That one there especially. But it's in there. Threw a couple extra washers to fill in the hole where it tried to pull through the frame. I still got to do something with this because it actually pulled this whole frame back a little. That's why our chain there looks like it does, because it pulled the tensioner bracket into the chain. It was a little too close to begin with, so I think we're going to knock the bolts out of there and bring that bracket on this side of it. May end up just welding it on. And then put a couple spacers if we need to get the idler out where it needs to be. So, almost done. Get the draper chain back up and hooked up and put the keys in the gearbox in the back so it's connected, but I don't want to do that yet because right now we can still turn the shaft on the back. Once you put it in there ain't much for turning it. Well, you can, but it's really slow. So, anywho, I'm going to grab some lunch, and it's sitting there trying to rain again, so go where it's dry. There are two draper chains hanging now. They are on. They are not tensioned up. We're going to back both front bars off as far as they'll go. Well, as far as we can without leaving a gap in the front. And suck the slack up on top and take a few links out here and there. And I thought we might have lost a link when I cleaned it out with the hoe, because when we were done there was one side of the left one was links unhooked and hanging there, and there weren't the red number there. So now that we're said and done, we got a spare part. We must have done something right. And of course it's raining again. We got a little damp getting this part done. I still need to fix that drive chain idler on the front. But the welder won't reach from here without getting it out the door, and that's not easy with that step.
Just the apron drive chain?
Hey, that's what we're looking for. She's looking to see. Because I know on the T-bars you got to have them up tight, but you don't want to go too damn tight. So we're checking the book for that to see where we got to be. And I have never liked the way the outside chain's got to run on the rails to come past the tongue, and the center ends up dropped like that. I've never liked that. So something I think we're going to do is put a bar across up there and put a guide for the center chain.
Adjust the tighteners against the chains until there's approximately 3/4 of an inch.
And we're going to go from there. I'm going to let you go so she can read to me. Number one decided she was going to go home early, so she did. I got the pins cut out of these. Adjusted them back away so I didn't have any trouble putting the air cans on. Then I got the air cans up here to clean them up. This one's all right. I may or may not have to cut that off. I need to tighten that up. But this one, not so good. So I didn't put them on. Instead, though, look at the floor. I didn't get the whole shop floor clean because obviously there's too much crap in the way. And yeah, Brandy put a little degreaser on there. That's just a wet spot for the door being open with a little grease spot. You know how that goes. Low man on the totem pole sweeps floors. Yeah, before I moved out here, I used to be one of the first things I did in the morning. Come in, set my coffee pot on the bench, and clean the floor up. Then I had kids. That worked out all right for a while. I gave her a pile of stuff over here that needs to go back upstairs or go upstairs. Hasn't been there yet. Some of it has. Oh, and the rain's coming in funky. I don't know if that's coming down the pipe or coming in through the wall back here, and freaking leak up here. Doesn't do us any good either. How many times I've been up there and checked it and patched it. But usually against this back wall, if there's gophers or moles that get too close, because the dirt's up. Oh, about where that copper tubing is going across the wall that feeds the stove. That's about where the height of the dirt is, give or take. So once in a while it happens. The way the wind's been blowing, it's no wonder. Of course, after number one left, it got nice out again, or nicer. It quit raining anyway, and the wind quit blowing. So anyway, I figured I'd show you that I did get something done besides work on that spreader. I think the only thing we got left is we're going to shorten the chains up a little bit more and adjust them, get them up where they belong, and fix that drive chain on the front. And maybe get some of this junk out of here tomorrow. I've been wanting to get it out of here. The only reason those pallets are still sitting here is just because I got to have some place for the parts that were on it. And most of them are over there now. And cardboard box there's got everything to go with those cables to put it back together. Maybe do that tomorrow. That'd be nice to get something done there. You know, still can't use the damn thing, but at least get the cables out of the way before something stupid happens to them. So, hey, that's a long enough video for today. So, I'm going to call it good. Hey, look. Shit, it's 5 o'clock. All right, boys and girls. Hope you'll have a nice evening and a good tomorrow.